Edition Drive Time Radio.
Eamonn Holmes live at Drive
on Talk Radio.
So, tomorrow, Eamonn, you are off to Buckingham Palace without your hat to collect your OBE. How are you feeling?
I'll probably feel quite wet, judging by the weather forecast tomorrow.
Are you still worried about Ruth's hair?
I'm worried about everything.
Okay, so tell me, have you decided what you're going to wear? Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got your suit and everything like that?
I have a choice of waistcoat.
Right.
I'm wearing morning suit.
Okay.
But I have a choice of waistcoat.
Are you a bit worried that you might put your foot in it? Because obviously, you know, you are going to be in front of royalty. This is Buckingham Palace. There's a lot of etiquette involved. Are you a bit worried about that?
No, I think I'll be well guided through that. I don't think I'll make an idiot of myself, really.
Well, just to make sure that you do everything correctly and that you don't make a fool of yourself.
Yeah,
and
what's
it looks
involved?
it looks like,
people say to me,
know what to expect.
Well, I don't know what to expect. People say to me, "Oh, who's doing it?" I have no idea who's doing it.
They don't tell you that.
They don't tell you that. I know it could be Her Majesty the Queen, it could be Prince Charles, it could be Prince William, and I think it could be Princess Anne. I think it can only be one of those four.
Exactly. But what I don't want you to do is make the mistake that I did, which was when I met Joan Collins, put my hand out and she just looked at it, because that obviously wasn't the right etiquette. But I brought in Grant Harrold here, who's a former Royal Butler.
The Royal Butler
and the
himself.
etiquette expert himself, to give you some tips and make you feel comfortable for tomorrow.
Thank you, Grant. Thank you. Very kind of you.
So, Grant, what happens at these ceremonies?
Well, it's an opportunity for the Queen and the country to thank people who have done things through the community, through the military, and in Eamonn's course, it's through the arts. So it's a fantastic opportunity, and it's very unique. You know, there's not many people that get to do this. It's between 50 and 100 tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You will get some time with the Queen. You'll get to say a few words to her. So it's quite special.
Yeah, it is. And what is the dress code?
Well, morning suit, I think that's perfect. I think Eamonn will look the part. You can also obviously wear a lounge suit, or you can even wear national dress if you wish to do something like that.
So I mean, come as a leprechaun.
Yes, I think that'd be the Queen would find that very amusing.
I don't think Ruth would find it very amusing, though. So let's not go there.
Possibly not.
Yeah.
And the other thing you've got to remember is that with the conversation, let the Queen lead the conversation, so she'll kind of guide you as to how long to talk for, so you don't talk too long. And also when you're finished, what the Queen does, she takes your hand, so obviously she offers you the hand, which means you can then accept, and she gives you a very gentle little push just backwards, which means your time's up. So don't think that then.
Would she be holding my hand for all of those 5 seconds she wants to talk to me?
No. She'll talk to you. It's not. Yes. She won't kind of hold your hand while you're actually talking to her.
So I walk up, and will she put her hand out? Or...
Yes.
Yes. So what will happen is you'll bow. You'll do a neck bow or a curtsy if you wish, but neck bow obviously.
So does a bow go?
Yeah. How are you supposed to bow?
Go like this. Is it sort of?
That's quite. It's a bit like a Cyberman, really, but no, it's more a neck bow. So it's just your
not
your
the
neck,
whole
not
body,
not the waist, because that's quite theatrical. Yeah. So just the neck. That'll be Otherwise, it looks like you've done a performance.
That's a good tip. And so then, just the head tomorrow.
Just the neck, and then you walk forward, and the Queen will then present you with you. Is it an OBE? She'll then present you.
Yes, it is.
You'll have a little clip on your lapel. And that's where she'll then place the award on you, and then she'll have a few words with you, and then she'll offer you her hand, and then you will accept, and then she'll give you a little push back, and then that's you done.
So don't push her back when she pushes you.
No, don't push back, and also don't. She's up on the dais. She's about 6 inches off the ground, so don't go up there beside her. The idea is that you're slightly lower, and also if you see a little footstool, don't kneel in it. Otherwise, you might end up with a knighthood.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, he'll definitely do that. He'll definitely go in for that one. Okay.
You see, I just think I'm going to walk up and she'll say, "I do love you on that radio show with Anita Rani. I love the two of you in the afternoon."
I think you're great.
I think it'd be wonderful if it was the Queen. As you said, there's the choice of a few royals that do it.
Yeah.
But I noticed the Queen was at the garden party today, and she's at the Derby on Saturday, so there's a possibility she could be there.
Oh, but does that mean she comes out to play for a few days? Or I would have thought, well, being her age and everything, do they not sort of pace her?
I think the reality is the other royals take it on, so that, as you said, it's paced. But maybe when she knows you're going to be there, she might make an appearance.
Exactly. So, feeling a little bit more comfortable?
I just hope the downpours, which will be torrential, I hope
you
they just
can't
don't
control that.
I know.
You can't control that.
You'll be fine. You'll be inside the palace, so you'll be
Inside.
nice and dry. You'll probably be in the picture gallery, and there'll be a reception, and it'll be very.
And do you get a picture taken? Can I have a picture? I mean, I presume they don't allow you in
Selfie.
the phones.
They don't. No, you don't really have any kind of phones or anything.
Yeah.
So no
going off.
selfies
But
allowed.
when you come out, that's the opportunity for pictures.
There's
and
an
things.
official photographer.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
So you must. So basically, the neck bow. You don't talk first. The Queen will talk to you. She'll give you a hand. She'll push you back, and off you go. It's really that
Hopefully
simple.
not onto the floor, but
No.
yes, back you go.
Yeah.
Well, some people have said to me, you can queue for an awfully long time. It's a bit like going to Disneyland.
It
or something.
can be. I mean, when you actually get taken through, you have to then wait in a kind of queue, and then the names get called. By the Lord Chamberlain, I understand, or possibly the Lord in Waiting will call your name, and that's when you then go.
We're talking
go
about
through.
chambers. Is there a
Loo?
Loo.
Loo, very
Yes,
place.
remember it's loo, not toilet loo.
Oh.
So, absolutely, you've got to use the right terms here.
So they say loo.
It'll be loo in the Royal House.
Not
you
a
say loo.
bathroom or anything?
No, because otherwise they'll think he's off to have a bath or something.
And the lavatory.
Or the lavatory's fine. You can say
Lavatory's fine.
lavatory.
Oh,
That's
lavatory, yes,
fine.
of course. Any other do's or don'ts that we should help Eamonn with?
I think it is that thing about you just said about picture. Don't suddenly try to get a selfie with the Queen. They don't do that, and don't ask for any kind of autographs. Or the Royals.
What
don't
if
do
she
anything.
asks me?
She might. That's possible, and if she does, you will
Then
call
oblige,
it
willingly.
oblige. And the new thing that younger royals do is they offer hugs. And now I'm having to say to people, if a royal offers you a hug, you can accept the hug.
Interesting. Now, Grant, how did you become a royal butler and etiquette expert? Where did this passion come from?
When I was a child, when I was 13, 14, I watched the movie Remains of the Day, and I thought one day I want to be a butler. And then I kind of then decided, actually, I don't want to just be a butler. I want to be a butler for the Queen or the Prince of Wales. And about 10, 11, 12 years later, after working for the Duke of Bedford, I got that opportunity.
Wow.
So aim for the top.
Yeah, I mean, that was I go to schools and I talk to children and I say, if you've got a dream or an ambition,
Yes.
whatever that might be, don't give up, keep focused. And I mean, I wrote many letters. I've got letters to the Queen when I was 14, 15, 16. I got responses. And I even sent her my pictures so she knew what I looked like, and I'm sure she didn't forget. So I was planning ahead, and etiquette. I've always been. My parents were very strict about how to dine and
Good
how
manners.
to do good manners, which is very important. And with the royal family, I watched them and learnt from them, and now I teach people who are going to be like Eamonn, who's going to be meeting members of the royal family, what to do and what not to do.
And do you think, Grant, those applications you had, even if there wasn't a job, do you think you were put on file, on a list?
I think you do. I think probably for the amount of letters I wrote, they probably said, watch out for this one. But
Yes.
I think the reality is they keep you on file. But like with any kind of position, there'll be lots of people applying. And I think the thing is, for me, I wasn't persistent, but I did every now and again just say I'm here.
And also, you perhaps told them, look, I've got this qualification now. This is real. This is what I'm doing. Kept them up with your progress.
I
then
did.
they built a little file on you,
I
saying
did.
this guy's serious.
And I remember getting it was 6 months of interviews before I even got to meet the Prince. And then on my 6th month, I went to Clarence House, and then I was worried about what to do and what not to do. And I remembered to let him offer his hand and did my neck bow and everything.
And tell me, the way people sometimes say you should never meet your heroes. Did it live up to everything you thought?
It did. That's the wonderful part. I mean, the Prince was the absolute gentleman that I imagined he was, and
This is Prince Charles.
Prince Charles, who was absolutely wonderful, and of course Prince William and Harry, the same. I mean, exactly what you imagine. And then I remember when the Prince introduced me to the Queen, as you do. The Queen was wonderful. I mean, she was great, charming, graceful, lovely humour. They all put me at ease. I mean, they are very much what you see is how they are. There's no kind of other side. That's what I feel quite lucky, is that when I say to people...
The Queen sometimes appears quite stern.
She does, but I think that's the kind of the role of monarchy. I think that's that is part of the job. But I mean, as we've seen, we've all seen it in documentaries.
Yeah.
The Queen, the
She
real
has a good
Queen,
sense of
she's
humour.
got a very good sense of
She's
humour.
funny. She's dry, isn't she? Very dry
She
sense of
has.
humour.
And there's a great clip online that I've seen of the Queen where she's at the races and one of her horses is about to win. in, and she skips off and all excited. And I thought, well, that's the Queen. That's wonderful to see that, because it shows people that, yes, there is the kind of duty and protocol and etiquette around being a royal, but at times they can let their hair down.
Yeah, but I was going to say to you, so when you were obviously the butler to the royal family, do they keep their standards up all the time?
Absolutely. I mean, people say to me, is it with the royal family, with aristocrats, do they kind of live the lifestyle that you see in Downton Abbey? Is it like it all the time? I mean, to an extent it is. I mean, because the reality is they're always entertaining, they've always got guests, so they have to kind of do things by the book. And it was great for me because then I got to learn as well. I mean, I'm fascinated by the way that royals engage with other people, and it's great being there and learning it. Not just to teach, but also when people come to my home, people get nervous when they come and have dinner with
I've
me.
been nervous coming
They're terrified to come to my house to have dinner. I'm saying, no, come in, just because we use the finest
do you
silver.
lay it out with the 50 knives?
Absolutely.
Do you?
Yeah, well, absolutely.
And the bread plate on the left-hand side?
Yes, see, you know exactly what to... You'll be fine.
I've been to Clarence's house before, so I can sort of say that. But I did have to learn which one. So you go from outside in, don't you? And
Absolutely.
your bread's on the left.
And did you remember your napkin etiquette?
Oh no, I don't know that bit.
That's where you fold the napkin in half, and ladies have the crease away from them, so they can pick up a corner that's closest to them and dab and put it back down, so it conceals the lipstick.
Oh my goodness!
Eamon doesn't need to worry about that.
You will have to have that to Ruth.
Yeah. And what do you take away from your time spent working for the Royals, Grant? How has it's obviously made you the person you are today. Do you miss life? Is it called in service?
In service, yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I take away a lot of wonderful memories. I've even got to dance with the Queen on an occasion. So there's many, many, many wonderful memories. But it's interesting you saying that, Eamon, because a few weeks ago I was invited to the royal wedding as a guest of somebody else. Now, I didn't go in. This time I was outside with the picnic, and it was interesting. I've been inside for the wedding of the Prince and the Duchess. I went in 2005. I went in for that one. So it was interesting to experience both from different sides. Yeah. And equally, both were as great fun as the other. Outside, I felt you got to see a lot more. Where inside, you were part of that unique service. And it's wonderful when I see members of the royal household. It's like catching up with old friends. It's that thing. I think you've always got that wonderful connection. And now what I do, I'm able to kind of go around and teach people and say to people as an unofficial kind of role with ambassador for the royal family, can I say, you know what, we're lucky to have this royal family. They are wonderful. They are down to earth. This is how to behave around them. But if you get it wrong, they're not going to send you to the town.
You are a great credit and advertisement for them, I have to say.
Thank you.
Could I just finally ask you, Grant, after my investiture tomorrow, should things change in my life, for instance, the people around me, like Sarah, should she change the way she addresses me or looks towards me, or the respect or whatever that she should have for me? I just want to know. I don't want you getting into trouble on Monday if you. Do
you know what? Even if I have to, I ain't gonna. I ain't gonna, mate.
Do you mean like a kind of curtsy or open the door for you?
Just a subtle change.
Slight respect.
Slight respect.
I would arrange for a fanfare whenever Eamon comes into the studio. Have a kind of fanfare.
Good idea.
I think so. Dream on about that one. Yeah. Can I ask one final question?
Yes.
What is the top tip you would give any man in order to display themselves as gentlemen?
It's very old-fashioned, holding the door open for the lady.
Oh,
Which
you always do.
Yeah,
I do absolutely. I really love that, and I teach my boy Zach to do that all the time.
As a matter of fact, I was
really
aware
important.
I walked out of the lift ahead of you today because I had your
suitcase.
suitcase.
You never do.
I had your suitcase, and I felt bad about that.
But you are a true gentleman in that respect. And the other person who I know is Nick Hewer from The Apprentice and Countdown, an absolute trooper.
I know him, and I do know what a gentleman he is. I have watched him. I've observed, so I know he's. And
some feminists don't like it, but I love it. I love it when a man opens
a
door.
Opening.
I do. I love that old-fashioned sort of,
and let's not
etiquette.
forget our new Duchess of Sussex is a feminist as well. So it's changing times, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I want you to call me from now on Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Well, that I can do. Obi-Wan Kenobi, I can absolutely do that.
The time now is 7:15. You were listening to
you.
Grant Harrold, who I'm delighted that Sarah brought in.
Yeah,
he's a
lovely.
former Royal Butler, and there he was giving me a few tips tomorrow in terms of etiquette and what to expect at my investiture at Buckingham Palace for my OBE, of which I am very humbled and honoured. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Across the UK, online and on DAB. Access all radios.
Talk Radio. Give it some lip.